All right, so let's scoot on into one of the other modules. We're actually going to take a look at the inspections now, since we're kind of flowed into that anyway. The inspections are created through the property records, and you can go directly to a property straight from the main menu. You can just click show, go to the pre-plan, look at hydrants. You can do that from the main menu. But we also have, as I showed you, the information console, which basically works like a to-do list for inspections. So once they're created in the property record, they show up here. And then this kind of becomes the place that inspectors use, because typically the scheduling is done by an administrative assistant or clerk or something, at a previous date. And then when you actually get to today, this is the list of inspections that you're actually going to be doing today. A couple of the inspections that we have available, these are actually all the ones that are available to you. The fire safety survey is the Massachusetts commercial inspection, the 304 liquor license inspection, and the 26F, 26F and a half. For the 26F and a half, we've got the part 1, which is all the administrative stuff. So down here at the bottom is comments and notes. So this is just for you guys. This is to be printed out on the report you provide. The inspection fee information, and then who's actually doing the inspection, who did you talk to. If you have a iPad that you're going to be using for these inspections, then you can actually click in here with your finger. It'll open up a signature field, and they can sign with their fingers, so their signature could be there as well. This is a requirement for this particular form. That's a system setting, but it doesn't have to be paid in advance if you don't want it to be. And then you choose, fill out who it's supposed to go to. Let me clear that out so we don't actually send it to them. And we've got who we can assign it to. So if you've got a particular inspector that needs to do it, or a group, or a particular station, you can have that assigned to them. We can answer the house number visible from the street. And then the build, all of the part 2 requirements are actually based on this build date. And we've got it on part 2 as well. So here's everything based on the house being permitted in 2010, but let's say that it was actually in, let me do it this way, 1988. You can see all those codes just updated based on that new date range. So you can tap with your finger to say, yeah, I checked it, it's good, right? You don't have to, but you can. And then you check the box to say it failed that piece. As soon as you have a failure, we mark the status as failed. And we actually have an eye right here that gives you the reference information. So they're not really sure, or if somebody's arguing with them, they've got the code right there at their fingertips. So the other tabs that we have up here, this is direct connection to property contacts. So any contacts for this property are going to show here. You can update them here, add to them, and anyone looking at the property record is going to see those changes. Same for the photos. So you can add photos here, and they're going to be available in the property itself. We also have the history tab. So every time it fails, and you send out, you can add it to the history, or if you share a failure form with them, which, every department's different in that aspect, whether they actually give a failure or not. When you share it, it's going to ask if you want to post it there, or you can go ahead and post it. When you share a form, you have the opportunity to save it as an electronic version or print it out, or you can do the email option. Either way, you get to see it first, so you'll see what it looks like, and then when you go forward, based on the button you chose, it'll give you some more options. So here's the failed items. We could put the inspector comments here to say, move it from the, you need one at the base of the stairs, yada, 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 yada. And then because I chose email, when I click continue, it'll verify my emails that I had in part 1, and it'll automatically attach what we were just looking at to the email. You can change the body to say whatever you want it to say. The emails that we confirmed will be in there automatically. So then you just click send when you're ready, and they're going to receive a copy. And then there it is asking if I want to place it in the history. And now we're keeping track of it failed. So who did we talk to? Who was the inspector? What did they fail? Why did they fail it? Right? So you've got all the pieces you need for the next inspector to come through and know exactly what was happening. All right, so the other forms that we have available are the commercial inspection and liquor license inspection. Both of these forms are basically the same as each other. The only difference is that this survey inspection is a lot longer, and it has a recommended correction option, whereas the liquor license is a strict pass-fail. We'll take a look at both of them, but it'll probably be pretty quick because they're very similar. Part 1 looks pretty much just like that 26F. The only difference is we don't have that payment information yet. That's going to be a part of our future update. But you have the same assignment emails, signatures, and it's kind of hidden below the view, but you do have both comment fields as well. So if you need to provide a note to a future inspector to, hey, watch out for this, they're going to try to pull this over on you, and you can do that. They're never going to see it. Yeah, it's only for the inspectors. And then part 2 is all those codes. So this is in the form of questions, and then you're going to answer whether it's a pass, fail, it needs correction, it was already corrected. This is basically a pass, but it just maintains that it was wrong in the first place. And then as you're marking those items, once you've got everything marked, then it's going to mark it as a pass or fail based on your answers. Again, you've got a place for all of that documentation to be there. If you guys have an NFPA code subscription, then you can have the PDF attached, but we do have the link automatically there as well, so you can go view the web version, which is free. And then we have the same connection to the contacts. So in this case, that property had contacts. We can add to them, update them if we need to. Property photos, so anything important that we need to know there, we can have those attached. We can see how many times it's failed in the past, who the inspector was, who they were talking to, and we can share that. And this is what that looks like when we share it. All the codes get listed. Code references in the background will also be posted. This department chooses just to have the code references. You can have the full wording from the code in there as well. They just preferred to have the code references only. And then all this wording changes based on system settings. So if it's a pass, it may say one thing. If it's a failure, it may say something. And we can change the name of the form if you don't like survey. Some of our departments say this makes it sound like they don't have to fix anything. You're just taking a look around. So we can change the name if you need it to say something different. And just like the other form, we can have it emailed out. It automatically gets attached. We change the body, send it out to whoever we confirmed the email address was. The liquor license inspection, as I said, is very similar. Part 1 looks exactly the same. Part 2 is just a little bit shorter. And as I said, it's a strict pass-fail. So it's just yes or no, not applicable, not required. We've got some dates and things, crowd manager, some attachments and things that are going to be selected there. And then in the case of a pass or a failure, it's going to show. Now, you guys already saw the failure. So let me show you what a pass looks like. Okay, so everything is a pass. And we've got that same document, contacts, photos, everything we had for the other forms. And then here's an example passing.